I'm going to show you how to model this floor plan concept in Revit so that you can learn to create a 3D model to work with, so that ultimately you can use it to create a project of working construction drawings. Alright, let's get on with it. Good morning, welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you're into architecture and technical drawing, and if you want to learn how to design, model and create architectural drawings for a house, then start now by subscribing to stay with us. In a previous video, we drew this concept floor plan for a small house, and we also made a 3D view on paper using the rough measurements on the floor plan. So we have an idea of how this small house is going to look as a Revit model. So let's go ahead and start modeling this small house in Revit. So I've opened a new Revit project here in the architectural template, and the first thing I'm going to do is go into elevations, pick any one, and I'm gonna set level 1's height at 2750, like we mentioned in the isometric drawing. And I'm just gonna quickly rename this as ground floor. Okay, now going back into the ground floor, I'm going to start drawing the walls. Okay, so I'm taking these measurements from the plan which we drew. Oh, before we do anything, when you select the wall, you have to set the height of the wall before you put it down. You have to set the parameters. So the connected height is going to be up to level 1. And because the measurements of the floor plan are on the outside, I'm going to select the location line to be finish face exterior. That means if I draw a 5-meter wall, it's going to be 5 meters from the outside. Okay, and lastly I'm going to change the scale to 1:50 so we can see better. Okay, chain is fine and everything else is okay. Alright, let's get started. So the first wall is 6 meters. You can drag it out to 6,000 millimeters or you can type it in. Then the next wall is 6.8 meters. And I'm going to write 6,800. Then the next wall is going to be 3.8 meters. And the wall for the porch is 1,200. And this side is going to be 2,200. And then the final wall is going to be at 8 meters. Correct. Fantastic. And I'm going to open a 3D so that we can see it being built up as we go along. Now you don't have to do this part, but you know what? I've been using Revit for a long time and I'm sick of seeing this brick color. I don't like Revit's brick color, so I want to change this color. So I'm going to select the wall, edit type, duplicate. Remember to always duplicate before you change something in case you want the original back. And I'll just call it external wall 1. Okay, and I'm gonna edit the structure. Now in the materials we see that the finish is a common brick. Now I want to change this. I want to change the color of the brick because I don't like it. So there's a hidden little check box here you can click and wait. And I'm gonna change the color from here to be a bit more orange. I think that'll do. Let's see what happens. Looks okay to me. Maybe a bit too orange. That's better. That looks much better. Okay, everything is okay. Alright, you can see how it's starting to look like our isometric drawing. The next thing I'm going to do is put internal walls into this. So I'm going to click on one of the walls, right click, and create similar. This activates the same wall tool, and I'm going to edit type, duplicate, and call this internal wall 1. Then I'm going to edit it, and now this shows you the makeup of the wall here, and I only want the concrete masonry units, the block walls in the cavity wall. So I'm going to get rid of all this, delete, delete. I have a finish on one side, a plaster finish on one side, and I want another one up here. So let's change that to the same, finish 2.5, and we want plaster. You can type it up here. And hit OK, and I want the thickness of the plaster to be 12. Okay, that's our internal wall. Hit OK, and we're going to start drawing this. Now I haven't put any measurements for the internal rooms. We're just going to place them as closely to what we see in the floor plan as possible, because later in future videos we're going to apply building regulations to this, and we're gonna change the walls, doors, and everything accordingly. So for now, the first wall is for the kitchen, and it looks something like this. And another wall here. Whoops. Like this, and I know this is 45 degrees, so I'll keep it at 45 degrees and put it there. And I'm going to trim this wall to the end here. Okay, you can see how it's starting to look like this. By the way, if you're wondering how I'm panning around like this, I'm holding the shift key on my keyboard and pressing the scroll wheel on my mouse, and then I'm moving this around like that without using this box here. Let's continue. We have another wall here. Now this wall might be something else, but for now we'll just make it a block wall. Okay, now that's the walls done. Now I'm going to add doors, windows, and other furniture. Now this is a tedious part of the project, because you have to, when you want something new, you have to keep loading it in every time, and it gets annoying to keep on having to load in something new again and again and again. You could find a base folder from which all these furnitures and doors and everything are kept, and you can just drag and drop them in. But I want to see what they look like, so I'm going to do that. The painstaking process of adding in something. So the first thing I'm going to add in is a door, the front door here. So I'll click on door. Now we have a basic door here, but I want a single door, not a double door. So load family and find your folder which looks like this. Go to doors, external doors, and let's pick one. So I'm looking for a single door with some windows on it, with a window on it, like the isometric drawing that we made. That's the one. And because this porch is a small space, we're going to have the door swinging outwards. Okay, let's see how that looks in 3D. Good. In my floor plan, this drawer is a bit more towards the right, so I'm just using the arrow keys on the keyboard to move this over a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna put another door here to the garden, so let's load in another door. Just a simple kitchen door. That looks kitcheny enough. About there should do. We can move the positions of everything later. Okay, and now I'm going to add the rest of the internal doors. So, right click on door, create similar, and we actually already have single doors loaded in, which are for the internal rooms. I think that one will do. Maybe this is too big. We use the smaller one. So I'll put one there, and because this is a small space, I'm going to have the door swinging outward there. And the door for this side, now you can see that it looks quite cramped with the door setting here. This is probably not a good design. It would be quite difficult to move around this here, but we'll fix that later. We'll fix the positions later according to the building regulations. If building regulations says this is okay, we're gonna leave it like this, or at least attempt to try and make it look better. So I'll put one there. Okay, that's the doors in. Now I'm going to put the windows as shown on the isometric drawing. So click window, load family. Actually, let's see what we got already. Okay, just a single plane window. Going back to Windows, and let's look for some windows. The one we can see on the porch, it looks like one of these, but just half of it. Well, there it is. I'm hoping it's not too big. Perfect. Now notice how I'm placing this. This is the correct way to place it. So this here is the internal windowsill where you can put your plant pots and stuff, and this is the external windowsill. And that's how it looks on 3D. We're knocking this up quite quickly. Okay, now I'm gonna put the other window here. I don't think Revit has a window like the one I've drawn, but we'll find something that looks like it. That looks sort of similar. We might use that one, or that one. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to pick the largest of our list here and place the internal sill on the inside. Okay, and that's how it looks in 3D, and I'm going to put the other one too. Maybe we could add a different one. Maybe something a bit more exciting, like this. I want to try and place it as centrally as possible. Now, I haven't drawn any windows in this area in the floor plan, but I'm sure the building regulations will tell us to put some windows here. So this can be a good case study for how we can apply building regulations. So I'll leave it like this for now, and I'm going to add the roof now. We'll do the furniture later. You add the furniture into the project exactly in exactly the same way. So you go into component, load family, and you just look for furniture. Put whatever you need. Tables, let's put a coffee table. And I want a big one. Let's just go with this one. Okay, I'll add the furniture in later, but for now I'm gonna add the roof, just to complete our basic model. We can add structure and other things later. So I'm going into roof. You have created, instead of doing that, I'll actually go to level 1 myself, and I'll create it from here. So roof. Okay, so what we're actually going to do is create 2 roofs and join them together. The roof for the main house and the roof for the porch. First, I'm just going to change the type of roof to roof generic. We can change the color later, it's going to turn out green. And check everything else is okay. Seems okay. We want to make sure that define slope is checked. That means our roof is going to be pitched like we see in the isometric drawing. And our pitch is going to be 30 degrees. So let's draw the square from corner to corner and check each line is 30 degrees. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And yes, 30 degrees. Now also our lines have to be offset by 150 mil, because in the isometric drawing our roof is overhanging by 150 mil. So that's what we're going to do. Use the offset tool, type in 150, and we don't want to copy the lines, we want to actually move them. So uncheck copy and move, 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 move. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, by the way, 2 of these lines do not need to be pitched. So we're going to highlight these 2 and remove the defines roof slope from them, because we only want these 2 to be pitching to the middle here, like in the isometric drawing. Hit OK, and there you have it, a roof. Let's change the material of this ugly thing. Edit type, duplicate, let's call it tile roof 1. I'm going to edit, and we're going to select the material from here. See if we have any tiles. We do have roofing tiles. Great. Now I like this, but I want it to be dark. A bluey dark roofing tile. Something like this. Like an engineering brick. And hit OK. And OK. And OK. Looks alright. If you zoom in, you can see the tiles. Okay, now I'm going to draw the other roof, and this roof is in the way, so I'm going to select it and temporarily hide it by clicking the spectacles here and hide element. So that's temporarily hidden. We're going to bring it back, and I'm going to select roof again and make sure you have tile roof 1 selected, and everything's okay. Draw a square. These 2 are not defined slopes, and we're offsetting it by 150 mil. You can offset this one if you want, but you don't have to, because we're going to join it to the other roof. But I'll offset it anyway. And I hit OK, and there we have our roof, looking just like the isometric drawing. We need to sort this area out, and actually I don't like the blue, I want to make it grey. That's a little better. Okay, now we have to sort this area out, and that side too. So to join the wall to the roof, to fill in this area, you select the wall, you attach the top of the wall to the base of the roof, and then you select the roof. Looking good. And we're going to do the same here. Attach top to base. We'll sort this out. Attach top to base. Attach top to base. And the roofs here you can see that they're disconnected. Well, we want to make this one. So I'm selecting one roof, click join, and click the other roof. Now it looks like one roof. We're almost done. We're going to sort out this wall now. I think the best thing to do here is go back to ground floor. Click this wall and we'll make it, we'll change it into the external wall 1, but we're going to do something different here. We're going to edit type, porch wall internal, edit, and we're going to get rid of everything. Delete. Something has to be in the core boundary, so we have to move this one down. So then we can get rid of structure. Now this does become a structure itself, doesn't it? So call it structure. And okay, I'm gonna try to align this wall as close to this wall as possible. So use the align tool, click on the outer edge of this wall, and then click this one, and it should align perfectly. Yeah, we could probably use a door here. Create similar. Now I need to see that wall, so I'm going to activate the section box from here, from the properties panel, and click it and use these arrows to see the section. And then I'll do the same thing to this wall as we did with these walls, which is to select it, attach top to base, and there it is. We're going to edit this to come back and be flush against the wall here. So remove the section box and go to level 1. This is extended way in, so we're gonna bring this back to the edge of the external wall and hit OK. It's showing like this because it's joined to the other roof, so I can now use the spectacles to unhide the other roof. And there we go. And that's it. I'm going to add furniture to this now. And I think you should be able to add furniture yourself. It shouldn't be too hard. Just look for little bits like this and attach them to the roof. If you enjoyed the video, share it with a friend. I'd appreciate it. And if you're not already subscribed, there's a round channel logo on the screen. You can click that to subscribe. In the description below you'll find a link to my website, technicaldraft.com, where I sell the best mechanical pencils and post helpful blogs for architectural students. Or you can just click on one of the videos over here and watch another video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.